Well, in order to spend 30% or less of your income on rent in Greater Lafayette, you have to earn nearly $19 an hour. That's according to data released by the National Low Income Housing Coalition in their Out of Reach report. The Lafayette-West Lafayette metropolitan area is named one of the most expensive places to be a renter in the state of Indiana. News 18's Perry Apostolakos reports.
The National Low Income Housing Coalition reports Greater Lafayette is tied with South Bend-Mishawaka for most expensive area to rent housing in the state of Indiana. According to their report, the rent affordable in Indiana with a full-time job paying minimum wage is $377 a month. Jennifer Shook of the Lafayette Transitional Housing Coalition sees the lack of affordable rents in the area every day. She says the lack means more people than usual are having a hard time transitioning out of homelessness.
When people say to us, oh, that person who's homeless, they should just get a job. Well, that's not as simple. That's not the only answer, right? Because getting a job doesn't mean that you can now magically afford housing in our community. We have a day room full of people who can work, who are working, but they still are not able to afford housing.
Brian Russell is the managing broker of the Russell Company in West Lafayette. He says the price of rent in Greater Lafayette is tied to the home ownership market and vice versa.
We don't have a lot of affordable housing around here. And the stuff we do have is not great condition sometimes. And to put in more affordable housing needs a lot of subsidies to make it feasible for the developers. And we just get in this catch-22 of the developers won't make it because they can't afford to make it, and the government can't support it because they don't have the tax dollars to throw at it.
West Lafayette Mayor John Dennis says city leaders can't solve problems like housing affordability on their own.
Local governments have much more demands on their resources and much fewer people to actually apply to those resources. And because of that, much fewer dollars to apply to those resources. So that the actual dynamic of government being the sole solution to some of the housing availability issues is kind of a bad one. It has to be a partnership between government and the rest of the community.
Lafayette Mayor Tony Rosworski says how part of the READY grant will go towards affordable housing in the WLFI viewing area. He tells us over the past decade or so, the city of Lafayette has given Habitat for Humanity $4 million to build affordable housing.
Most developers don't want to build affordable housing because you can't make the numbers work on their investments, and that's why they apply for tax credits to help offset some of that cost. But the truth is, in my opinion, there are flaws in the tax credit system that need to be looked at, and local people need to have more say in how that happens in their communities.
Reporting in Tippecanoe County, Perry Apostolakos, News 18.